Hello and welcome to the nest. I'm Leanne, and right now we're working on a book called Pockets of Possibilities. I call it that because I use envelopes and it creates these pockets that are oh so open to possibilities. I have a link above if you'd like to connect up with the different tutorials that have already happened. Right now we are on part 3, and part 3 works with using the scrapbook paper to create your pockets. I use this one. It's just a beautiful 4.5 by 6.5 stack that you can get at your local hobby shop. What you want to do is pick out two pieces, a front and a back. They can match or not match. Either way is fine. If you have a scoreboard, it works out great. Pull it out and you're going to create a crease at the top. Turn it over and do a nice, easy little fold over of it. That's going to be your flap. It just strengthens the top of your piece a little bit more, and it just makes it a little bit more pretty, I think. Now the question is, how many envelopes should you make? The beauty of this book is there's no set amount. You can make 7, you can make 9, you can make 12. I think at least having 9 works out best. It gives it a little bit more stretch if you want to open it up. At this point, what you want to do, grab your envelopes. We're going to put a little bit of glue on the flaps. It just holds it down, makes it nice and crisp. You don't have to do this part here. It's just a matter of preference. When you do place your glue, though, don't go all the way to the ends because that's where your sewing machine is going to go, and you don't want it to have your needle to have to go over the glue. So take your pieces, put them aside, and let them dry. You want them to dry fully so that you don't get glue on your needle. Looking good, aren't they? So go ahead and you want to determine at this point whether you want to sew on the top of your piece or not. Some of mine I did, some of mine I didn't. Now if you sew on the top, actually you don't have to glue the top. On this one here, for example, I just sewed around the edges. I made a U shape, and that's what you want to do at this point with your piece. When you do it, I like putting my sewing machine and lining it up with my foot. Now you can do it however you want. I find that if I line it up with my foot, then I have an even stitching around the whole thing. Now here's my envelopes. This is another sample of some envelopes where I used a paper that actually was a two-sided paper, so the inside already is fully covered. And what I did, I just flipped that paper to the outside instead of the inside, so I've got that second color automatically on the outside. This is one that I did, and I just used black. I'm still working on it, but it's a cardstock. The interesting thing with that, boom, boom. So the cardstock really has a stiffness to it, so you don't get that same movement that you do with the paper. I think it's fabulous. You do want to make sure you have maybe a little bit more in there if you want it to hold out a little bit more. Now let's talk about a no-sew version. Let's say you want to do this, but you don't have a sewing machine or you don't want to use your sewing machine. There is a solution, and it's easy peasy. You can take some paper, you can use your scrap paper, or you can use this as regular copy paper. Cut 1-inch strips, and then you want to make a crease down the middle. If you have a scoreboard, you can do it on your scoreboard. It just makes it nice and even. And then fold it on over on that line. That line just gives your paper a memory so it knows where to fold. So it just makes a nice even crease. If you don't have the scoreboard though, no problem. Just take your paper, fold it in half. I would say start in the middle and then move your way to the outsides because you're less likely to create a line that's off. So I like doing it that way. It's just easy peasy. Measure your pieces to the sides and just give a little clip. You don't have to measure it with your ruler, just a hand eyeball thing. And then look at this. You can just use one to measure the other, right? Take your last piece and measure along the bottom edge because you want to go ahead and make a seam that's going to be placed right there. I love the ease of this. It's really minimal. Okay, 3 pieces here, 3 sides. Let's go ahead and glue them down. I start out with the bottom one first. So get along both sides of those edges of your little piece that you're adding on there so that there's not little open spots, and then eyeball it down to the bottom, which is going to be the bottom of your envelope, and then right away you can place the other side of your envelope right along it. So if you can get along the edges, it just makes it so when you push paper in and out of your envelope, it's not catching on that little edge. You want to make sure though that your glue does not seep on the inside where you're making it, so that your envelope is glued shut. Go ahead and do a taste test, not a taste test. Go ahead and do a test to make sure the length of your piece is good, that it's not sticking over the top of what would be the top of your envelope. Grab your glue again. Oh, nope, nope, nope. Let me take that back. If you do little clips, little angular clips, then at the very top and actually the very bottom, it's not going to be sticking out oddly or getting in the way. By clipping at the top, it won't be as visible when you put things in and out. Now, you don't want to go crazy because you still want your envelope strong right there, but it just makes a nice look to your envelope. Line it up. Pay attention where it's going to go. Get it along that edge, and then let it be secured. Doing the other side, and this is just a wonderful project to do. You can see here that it's just some simple steps. I've made several of these books, and it's just so relaxing, I'm telling you. So go ahead and see how it fits. And then you can see here what I noticed, it was starting to turn over a little bit. So I'm going to do a clip right here. On all the future books that I made, I actually made clips on the top and on the bottom, just tiny little angled clips. Place your glue, and once again, you don't want it too close. You want to allow for the squishing, but you do want it close enough to the edge so that it does glue it down. Gingerly close it. And then you're going to do that to all of your envelopes. Easy peasy. You're done, and you have a fabulous, darling little envelope right here. I love it. It's fun just using the varieties of papers. So this is what the envelopes are like. And you're going to be taking your envelopes, and we're going to start dolling it up in our next video session. So I look forward to seeing you. Happy crafting, and I'll see you next time for the next part of this fun tutorial. Have a great day. Bye.